guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review on The Walking Dead, which is called Prey. So let's talk about this episode. In this episode, we get to see Andrea is the center. She has the whole story with this episode. And the governor is the focus also. But Andrea wants to go back to the prison because she's realizing the governor, well, not realizing, she's always realized it, but never really knew how to get out of Woodbury, but now she's like, I really have to leave. Because she's realizing more that the governor is really crazy. He has these traps to torture somebody, and this was former shown. So she's running. Now the governor finds out that Andrea has left because Tyrese says, oh yeah, Andrea left. She seemed really scared. So Tyrese is kind of, he's being a little naive, but he's also saying, oh wait, you know, maybe something else is going wrong here, we should leave. But he's being naive at the same time, and even in the end of this episode, we get to see, oh yeah, we'll stay in Woodbury. You're so right. Even when the governor is thinking of something to say to rebuttal a question and lie to them, he's still like, yeah, that sounds right. Okay, we're gonna stay in Woodbury. So he's starting to become like the Angie of the show, being a little bit naive. Hopefully he doesn't end up being the Angie of the show. But so we get to see Andrea. She's leaving out of Woodbury, and we get to see her whole trip. She doesn't have a car to go to the prison, so it's a little ways to actually go to the prison if you're just running. So she gets, you know, some hurdles, some zombies, you know, some are definitely close encounters, like, oh, is Andrea gonna survive? And she does most of the time, and then they go to this abandoned warehouse, and the governor is following her. Ooh. Governor's trying to find Andrea. So that scene, those scenes were just really tense. You don't know if the governor is going to find Andrea, and then there's these bunch of zombies, and Andrea opens the door where there's a herd of zombies and start attacking the governor. So you're like, oh, the governor is definitely dead. And if he's not dead, you know, he'll just go back to Woodbury. So Andrea actually ends up to the prison waving, and then we find out the governor pushes her to the ground, and he captures Andrea. Yeah, so Rick didn't see Andrea, and all that running to the prison didn't really work out because she ended up in square one at Woodbury, and now she's being tortured. You know, that room that governor was trying to plan? Now Andrea is in that room. And there's also a side story with these zombies. They're in a pit. They're using the zombies for something. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to use it for. But they're in a pit, and now we found out some mysterious person put the pit on fire. Now, who is this mysterious person? My guess is Milton, just the way he acted in the end of this episode. And I think that could be interesting for his character. I think he was really interesting in this episode. He has motives. He doesn't trust the governor, but he knew the governor before he was the governor, so he wants to trust him, but he really is starting not to. Maybe that's why he did, I think he really did, you know, do the gasoline thing and put the pit on fire. I really do think it was him, just because Andrew's like, you know what, you're going to stay in Woodbury, but are you going to really turn the other way and turn the other cheek all this time when you're at Woodbury? And I think if anyone's going to save Andrea, it might be Milton. I think this episode was really interesting. It was really tense, just the way the camera movements were, and just every scene, especially in the warehouse, you're on the edge of your seat. And that's why I really enjoyed this episode. And I actually have a new respect for Andrea. I think she was really likable in this episode, and I really hope they continue this with Andrea. I think, honestly, her character really could change after this torture. If she survives the torture, I think it'll change her character a lot. She'll be traumatized, and maybe that will make her become a likable character. Maybe this will change the character. Maybe this is a climax for her character, and I really think it could be if she does survive it. And I really do think she will. I just think, again, I think this will be a climax, because a lot of people realize, oh, everyone hates Andrea. This will be the way that she changes. And I think she played it really smart in this episode. I think finally when she didn't trust the governor, she really did play smart. And I think she became a really interesting character. And again, just the edge of your seatness of this episode was amazing. Again, Tyrese was actually the character I didn't really like, because I feel like he's very naive, like Andrea was with the governor. And you can tell the governor was lying. I feel like he isn't as charming as he was in the first season. Or not the first season, sorry, the beginning of this season. He's not as charming as he was. So, I think we get to see a little bit of his psychotic side with the governor, and Tyrese doesn't really want to see it. He wants to keep his group together, even though his group is starting to fall apart a little. But I'm sure we'll see a little bit more with Tyrese and see his character grow. I don't think he'll be as annoying as Andrea, but he's starting to be a little, at least for me. But I hope he's a good character because he's supposed to be awesome in the comics. But I'm glad they did use him a little in this episode. So favorite parts, again, had to be the warehouse part, just the tension of that part. Just a lot of tension in this episode. Milton, I feel like, was a dark horse in this episode because, again, we don't know who did the pit thing, but I think it was Milton. But tell me in the comments below, did you like Andrea in this episode? Because honestly, I think this was a game changer for Andrea. Do I love her character? No, but I think I like her character. At least with this episode, and if they continue doing this with her character, I think I could really end up liking her because I always wanted to like that character. And I think they did it right with her character in this episode. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the whole torture thing and how this will relate to the group. And will she be alive in the next episode? Could she die? I mean, honestly, she's being tortured, so I think it definitely could happen. And I think we'll see how crazy the governor is with the next episode. We saw how crazy he was in this episode, but I think it's going to be times 10 with the next episode. Yeah, so tell me in the comments below what you thought. Did you think this was a really edge of your seat episode, even though, I mean, honestly, with this episode, it's more of like, alright, Andrea's trying to go to the prison, and she ends up back in Woodbury in the same spot. So yeah, I guess story-wise, not a lot progressed, but obviously now Andrea is being traumatized. So even though she had that whole trip and that trip was wasted, something got out of it, and I think that's why this episode is really interesting. I think the tension made up for that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with these last 2 episodes. Tell me in the comments below what you thought, and tell me in the comments below if you would like me to do another Walking Dead episode review next week, because I won't have any comic book reviews next week, and the only review I'm planning on doing is Arrow, and if I do my Walking Dead review, it'll probably be up later in the night, but if you guys are okay with it being up later in the night, just tell me in the comments below, and I will do the review. If not, I probably will skip the next episode and just do the season finale episode. But tell me in the comments below what you think. If you want it later, then that's fine, later in the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Comic Uno, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.